How about real parent?
That's interesting. Most people use that phrase and don't realize what they're saying. We were at the local swimming pool, Jacob was probably 2 when this happened, and a friend of mine yells across the pool to me, "Do you ever hear from his real mom?" In the middle of a swimming pool full of people. Fortunately, my child was 2 and he was splashing and playing and didn't hear what they were saying. But do you understand how that would have made him feel had he heard her? And so the term real implies that you are somehow fake if you're not the birth parent. And it implies a relationship that isn't there. Because a parent-child relationship is about the time and the investment of energy and love and emotion and being there. That's what makes a parent.
Unwed mother.
That term is derogatory toward birth mothers, and I have a very protective heart for birth mothers because they're very precious, they're very special, and that is a very outdated term, and it doesn't really, it puts on the birth mother a position that she shouldn't have. She's in a crisis pregnancy, yes, but the fact, there are many women who choose adoption who are married, so that implies something that simply isn't true in all cases.
Tell me about the word birth mother.
That's one of the most precious words to me because without my son's birth mother, I'm not a mother. And a birth mother is a hero of the proportion that only God can really understand, because she is choosing to carry and nurture this child for 9 months, realizing that she's not going to be the parent of that child and that someone else is. And so that's a really high level of love and sacrificial motherly love that a birth mother has for their child. And that was one of the things that most disappointed me the early days of being an adoptive mother, was how negatively people viewed birth mothers. They viewed them as being uncaring, as they're all drug addicts, they can't take care of their children, so they just give them away. And that's absolutely not the correct image of a birth mother.
Next.
Society in general has a very outdated image of adoption.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
When Christine found out she was unexpectedly pregnant, she decided to be a birth mother. Joy and her husband adopted their son 9 years ago, and Joy recognizes a birth mother as a heroine. Christine and Joy now share their experiences and the facts about adoption, abortion, and parenting with thousands of high school students. What have you learned about society and how it relates to the choice of adoption?
Society in general has a very outdated image of adoption. you can walk up to somebody on the street and say, what do you think about adoption? And more than likely they're going to give you an image of the 1950s, a very closed adoption where the birth mother never knew anything about the adoptive parents and the adoptive parents never knew anything about the birth mother and the child was never told that they were adopted, and just a very outdated image of adoption.
Well, why do you think that is?
I think because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about adoption anymore. That's one of the things that Joy and I do in the schools, and one of the reasons we get so frustrated in the schools is because nobody's talking about it.
Joy, what do you think it'll take for society to get the idea that adoption is really a positive option to consider when faced with an unexpected pregnancy?
There are other options. It's not just about abortion and parenting, and they need to know about the truth behind those two that they do think that they know about. And then definitely spend time educating them on what adoption really looks like, and let them see and hear from people who've actually been through a crisis pregnancy and chosen adoption and know firsthand what that experience was like. You know, a lot of times students will tell us, well, I would choose adoption, but my parents won't support me in that. And that's really sad to me, because a lot of times girls will go to adoption agencies and they're very upset because their parents are not going to allow them to choose adoption. And I think that speaks to, we haven't done a very good job in the church of educating the moms and the dads about what a beautiful thing adoption is, and that we need to spend more time on education.
The language we use to discuss adoption greatly impacts the way people view it. Hopefully now we're better equipped and informed to help other people consider the option of adoption. Thanks for watching. Making an adoption plan is a gift of life for the baby and a gift of joy for the adoptive parents. I'd like to offer you a tender remembrance of the wonderful option of adoption. This beautiful piece from the Willow Tree Collection is appropriately titled Our Gift. Go to FacingLife.tv to register to receive one free from us. While there, order your own personal copy of today's episode on DVD and find out how you can be involved in the effort to protect life.